Hey guys, Cam for 15 back at it with another video for you guys, and back with another My Hero Academia anime episode review for you guys. Anime episode season 6. Season 6 episode 14. As we get the first brand new episode of My Hero Academia for 2023. And oh boy. Listen, I didn't hate this week's episode of My Hero Academia. I really didn't. I'm kind of in the middle ground, if anything. The reason why this episode is probably episode 14 is probably gonna get a lot of hate is because they don't really adapt as much new content as well you would think we would. It was just kind of a combination of some new content, and then literally I think like around 11 minutes worth of recap, which practically is half the episode. So yeah, it's debatable how people will feel about this. I can see why people would hate this. I can see why some people would be like, well, it's not that big of a deal, I guess they want to refresh your memory just in case you forgot, but I can understand. Listen, personally for me, I would have kind of either hoped that there was no absolute recap, or if they had just cut the recap to about 5 minutes. If they just had skimmed through everything and just had it about 5 minutes, after the 5 minute mark, 6 minutes, and 6:00, we get new content, I would have been fine with that. I don't know why Studio Bones decided to do half the episode be a whole recap. Again, I don't know why they continuously do these episodes sometimes where they think, oh, the audience forgot what happened, because it's been 2 weeks since the last episode aired. If I'm gonna get a recap episode, you should have showed it the week of New Year's. I understand New Year's is kind of a thing and everything, but you should have shown it that first Saturday on the New Year's holiday, because then you could get to the new content stuff. I rather would have seen this episode last week compared to this week. Um, but then again, I could have made the same compare. I could have did the same exact thing, saying that last week. I'm like, well, then you should have shown this. This should have been the last episode of freaking 2022. But it is what it is. Some people are gonna be mad. Some people are gonna hate it. Some people won't be. Will be like, it's not a big deal. Yada yada yada. Personally, for me, you know how I feel about the anime, and on the way I kind of talk to the haters in terms of the anime. I just tell people it's not that big of a deal. Like, it's just one episode. Yeah, do you have to wait another week for like probably pretty much a new episode worth of full new content, which looks pretty much damn exciting. Where the next episode is going to go, and manga fans already know. You saw the next episode preview, you know where it's going to go. I won't spoil it for others. But yeah, it's going to be very much interesting to say the least. Very much interesting. But those are my thoughts on the filler portion of the episode. In terms of the recap, I don't mind it, but at the same time, it's like you could have really like cut it entirely out, or just like freaking shorten this thing. Um, you know, so yeah, but this episode was pretty much about just utter true despair, depression, sadness, and pretty much I wouldn't say the death, but the fall of Hero Society pretty much is kind of completed now. But the fact that we just are getting the aftermath, just a little bit of the first part of the aftermath after this battle of this war, and start the episode off with freaking Redestro pretty much going to the Hero Public Safety Commission, to pretty much make a deal on, them using, having this here Public Safety Commission use their like weapons, their tech, and everything. With this, Redestro makes the point like, hey, we can use this so we can get more intel, we can be so secretive and everything, and we can understand like what they're planning ahead of time and everything. And the Public Hero Safety Commission, they show up, but they pretty much dupe Redestro and say, oh yeah, we're actually not gonna freaking give in. We know who you're working for, pretty much. We don't see how the battle goes, but we see that there was some casualties, and one of those casualties was actually the Hero Public Safety Commission's chairwoman. We also find out that it was a Reed Destro fake of Twice. Now, if you're wondering, wait, I thought Twice died. How would this copy of Reed Destro still be a thing? Well, this whole incident, we find out because this leads into the recap. This incident took place or slightly before the entire war arc got started. So that's kind of the thing and everything. If anything, it started around the same time. So, by the time this war is over, you got pretty much a lot of casualties, not only heroes, which we'll talk about in a second, but you also have the own Hero Safety Commission chairwoman. Pretty much the person that runs all the day-to-day operations for, in a way, the hero society and all the heroes. Well, she's dead now. That's going to be pretty damn interesting to see where the story is going to go. Now, I know where the story goes because I read the manga. And everything. Then you get the episode, then you get the next newest part of the episode, to where you just see utter despair. You just see destruction, chaos, civilians pretty much fighting, trying to escape. Some civilians are captured, trapped, injured pretty badly, on the verge of death because of all this. And in the meantime, you have little kids crying and everything. In the meantime, you have Ochako pretty much. In this episode, we just see her just saving all the people she can save, and everything. Like, it's pretty bad, like, to the point, like, they're not only, you see, like, doctors and everybody, they're, losing out. They're losing on, like, supplies, like healing supplies and everything, like medicines, types of blood packages they need for people with certain blood types, and then you have this one person like, hey, here's another guy, and then this one doctor's like, you gotta keep him away. Just lie him down right now, because right now we only need to prioritize the people. And the person is like, but what? This person needs help and assistance. Otherwise, they're gonna pretty much, die. And this person is like, listen, I'm trying to save the doctor's like, listen, we're already jam packed. I'm trying to save as many people as I can. Put him on the sideline. He's gonna have to wait. If he dies, pretty much, there's nothing we could do. There's too many people I have to take care of right now, and you can see how they're kind of scratched for resources and everything. There's not enough paramedics and everything. You're just seeing like, oh shit, this is what Shigaraki did. In the League of Villains, the Paranormal Liberation Front, they messed it all up. They freaking caused it. Potentially the end of hero society as we know it. You get a nice representation of what you get of what civilians are feeling. They're wondering like, oh shit, even though I don't know if I want to trust this Dobby guy, but listen, Endeavor, he looks like he's freaking done. He looks like he's canceled pretty much. People don't know, like, wait, so what's gonna happen now and everything. Perfect representation of also another more, certain people feel, is when they cover the All Might statue, they literally have the All Might statue right then, and then there's a sign that says, I am not here. Like, it goes to show you that some of these civilians, they have lost faith in the heroes, and they don't believe where the future is going, which also leads to Shigaraki, from the standpoint, like, what if, the League of Villains come back and they keep, and eventually some civilians are like, you know what, I'm gonna go join that side, because guess what, they're the winning side, and I just want to prioritize my safety. I want to make sure that I'm not dead, and everything. So you could see it to where maybe some civilians, they're willing to go the routes of maybe doing evil because they want to stay alive. And sometimes in those desperate situations, I'm not condemning. I'm not saying it's, you should do that, but in those certain situations, when you're put in a position, when you're backed into a corner, you don't know the outcome of what happens and the fear takes over you. Sometimes you end up doing things that you may have not done in a regular sense. Like, if somebody pretty much is like, you're working for me, or you're dying, or your family dies, well, you're going to do what you got to do to keep sure your people are safe, and things like that. And then just seeing Ochako do pretty much everything she can to save everybody. It's absolutely crazy. And you can see, like, at the start of the episode, she looks fine, but by the time we get to the end of the episode, You can see her hair is all frazzled. She looks exhausted. Next thing you know, she just looks back because she overhears this one hero just looking at all this carnage, all this destruction. And this hero's like, I probably should look to invest in a new career line of work, pretty much. And, she hears that, and now you're getting heroes to the point where it looks like this is too much for them. Some heroes are looking at this carnage and destruction, just like this one hero alone. He's pretty much just like, screw this, man. I need to go. After I'm done with this, I'm gonna go look on frickin' Indeed.com and frickin' go look to see if I can find me a new job somewhere, because the hero business is not cutting it for me. Which goes to show you, not only it seems like we're getting the whole phase of the fact that it looks like some heroes may actually stop being heroes because, well, this incident was just too much for them. They never expected damage and destruction of this level and everything, and they may be feeling some sort of fear and they may be afraid. Goes to show you that, were these people really heroes to begin with, or did these people just do the hero job to get a quick buck? They thought, we got the upper echelon heroes, they'll be able to handle business, I don't have to get my hands dirty. If anything, I'm gonna have to do a little bit, but nothing much. And you can see that maybe there are gonna be some heroes that will stop being heroes, and then we find out, oh, you may not be real heroes. It's like, it goes back to Stain's ideology of like, well, what the hell are you guys fighting for? You guys say you're heroes, but in reality, you guys ain't damn heroes. That's why I'm killing you guys. I'm pretty much, weeding out the weak heroes, the ones that proclaim that they're heroes, but in reality, they're not. Kind of is like that Stain. It's like that, Hero Killer Stain's ideology of the fact of he never believed in certain heroes because he doesn't believe in what they stand for. He thinks, oh, you're not a hero, please. You're just doing this for all the fame and the money. We see some heroes just be like, I'm done being a hero. This is too much, and everything, which will show you like, hey, maybe that person was never really a hero. Maybe they really did do that for the fame and the popularity, and it's just they knew it was the hit thing to do because All Might was running the show and everything, and everybody was inspired by All Might. So, it was actually, kind of depressing seeing the look on Ochako's face. That was one of the like more famous manga panels of seeing that just dejected Ochako face, knowing like, what the frick is going to happen now. You then get some of the aftermath. We see the Class 1A group in the Gungan Mountain Villa area. They end up, finding Midnight's body, and they see that she's dead. It's a pretty emotional scene. For these characters, for not just these characters, let's just be honest, 15 to 16-year-old kids, being put on a mission like this, and next thing you know, they come across one of their teachers' dead bodies. That would break anybody. Like, one of my favorite teachers in high school, if I saw her dead, geez Louise, I'd probably be breaking out in tears just as much as the Class 1A characters were, because Midnight had an impact on the way they are today. And if you have somebody that means a lot to you, somebody that you deem close, even if it is in the teacher's case, what is it? You grow a bond, a relationship, a close relationship with that person. You're going to be emotional. And for these kids, they're only, again, like I mentioned, they're around probably 15, 16 years of age, going into this uncertainty. One of their teachers are dead right then and there, and it's like, you can understand the breaking down. We found out Majestic end up kicking the buck. He's dead. And yes, they show a bunch of pictures of other heroes that died. Yes, some of the heroes we don't know, but still, it goes to show you, like, there's a lot of heroes that died in this war. A lot of heroes that died. Even though the heroes did capture, villains like Gigantomachia, a bunch of other main dudes, still, the villain still escaped with around like 132, people, and they still a fairly hefty number. And, you get the end of the episode where Shigaraki pretty much is like, screw it. I'm not giving them no damn time to rest. We're going to freaking make our move right now when we got the chance. Even though we're in a weakened state, right now, we're going to go make our damn move. Well, I'm not going to sit around and let these guys heal it and then come find us again. And obviously we cut over to All For One, who's in Tartaros. You know, what is it? He's just like, it's not exactly what I planned, but hey, it's better than nothing, right? So yeah, and then we find out it looks like Shigaraki's gonna go after All For One. Well, the All For One personality in Shigaraki is talking, and he's like, I'm gonna go retrieve my original body. So it looks like well, like, and then I think I made this reference before. I think I made this whole hint, like, well, what if there's a point in the story where, I don't know, they decide to go raid Tartaros and break out All For One? Well, it looks like we're gonna end that whole thing of the fact that, well, guess what? All For One is gonna probably more than likely be breaking out, because it looks like they're gonna be going after All For One's true body, and they're gonna be breaking him out. But things go from bad to worse, and things like that. Before I get out of here, actually, I almost was about to cut the review short. One, my co-host is not here. He's still in Mexico. He's on his way back today, but I can handle it on the own. So he'll be back next week. You'll get his thoughts on the last couple of episodes. You know, the last 2 episodes of the series since he's been gone and everything. But yeah, absolutely insane, absolutely crazy in that aspect. But the number one thing I think we can all take away from this episode is the gosh darn beautiful anime new opening for the back half of season 2. I saw this opening last night. Like, I guess the opening leaked last night. I saw it last night, and then I watched obviously the full high definition version. Man, it was absolutely, again, in terms of visual wise, it's my favorite opening. The song I think is pretty good. I just prefer other opening songs and everything, but the animation and the visuals for this opening, the back half of the season's opening, man, it was absolutely great. The darkness and the despair. People ain't gonna be complaining about blue skies no more. Like, seriously. I was just like, oh my gosh, this is absolutely crazy. Just the animation, the fluidity of what it looked like. Great stuff right there. And I'm like, if this is only just a small tidbit of what we're going to be getting, oh man. And yes, you see Deku in this opening. My boy is a different man. I'm telling you, you guys who are anime only to My Hero Academia, you have yet to see the change that is going to happen in Deku for this back half of this season. Just alone, you can see. You look in the opening. Look at his eyes. His eyes look freaking like tired and worn out and everything. I'm telling you, man, he's gonna be this whole new Deku arc, man. I'm telling you, this is when I remember the manga. A lot of people were so shocked. They're like, "Oh, fudge! What the hell are we getting ourselves into?" When we get that first episode, when we finally see this side of Deku, I'm gonna say, I'm like, listen, I remember the manga. A lot of people were like, "Whoa, this is different," and it's gonna be a different Deku for a bit. Yeah. Nice to see this. The opening was great. I was absolutely floored, and I can't wait for some of the moments I saw in the opening. Like, I can't wait for this moment. I can't wait for that moment. It's just gonna be great, man. It's gonna be great. My Hero Academia season 6 is obviously my favorite and the best season of My Hero. Yes, this was a recap episode for the majority of the part, but I still thought it was a solid episode, nevertheless. Next week we're gonna be getting 100% new content, and I think you guys are gonna like it next week. Yeah, but anyways, I'm gonna get out of here. If you guys like the video, leave a like, put in the comment section your thoughts on this week's episode of My Hero Academia season 6, as well as hit the subscribe button if you want to get more My Hero Academia content. I'll be back tomorrow talking My Hero Academia manga and everything. So yeah, but till then, guys, stay safe out there and have a great rest of your day. Peace.